G'day everyone, welcome back to Pete's Investing. Today's June 29, 2023. This is the Aussie US currency update. On our weekly, we're in a bullish momentum. On our daily, we're in a bearish, so avoid trading the trend. Although we do have a bullish divergence playing out, which is in isolation from the weekly and daily trends. So we've got a bullish divergence playing out on the hourly, and I'll explain that in a minute. But first off, on our weekly, we've got the triple moving average of the price chart and the moving average of the CCI 150, and that's giving us they're both turning down, but we're still in a bullish momentum with our oscillator, our multiple moving average oscillator. That's giving us a bullish trend, although we might be weakening. You'll notice as well, it hit this in this smaller range. It hit the 61% retracement and then bounced off that, and that's always a key area to look out for in terms of Fibonacci retracements. If I draw another one here, for instance, just to see where it bounced or where it impacted it, if we go to that high, again you can see there, there was a bit of resistance there at the 61% as well. It went sort of sideways between the 50% and the 61% for a number of weeks, and finally broke through to the downside very slightly, although it didn't make a huge impact on the downside. So again, just always keep mindful of the 61% is the line in the sand drawn generally on most Fibonacci retracements. On the daily, we're in a bearish momentum primarily. You can see there with our moving averages and our oscillator. We did have a slight bullish movement to the upside versus a bearish on the price, and it broke up and it hit our target area on the daily. We always look out for divergence, and on the hourly, if I go back, these divergences are in isolation. They're not related to the daily or weekly divergence. We had a bearish divergence here on the CCI versus a bullish on the price chart. It broke through our channel and hit our initial target area. We always choose the closest Fibonacci range as our target, even though in this case it fell much further and actually went just below the 61% level of the Fibonacci range. Now, more closely, in the last few hours, we've got a bullish divergence on the CCI versus a bearish on the price chart, and it's not ready for entry yet. And the way we set it up, we draw a channel to the highest bar within that divergence range. Then we place a Fibonacci from the lowest point to the highest point, most recent high, and then we set a target which will be the closest Fibonacci range. Let's choose that one there. So if the price breaks this upper channel, that'll be your entry point, and that'll be our closest target. So it may go higher than that, but if it does break up through there, there's a very high chance it will hit this target area. Now, for this to fail, if you look down here, we've got a bullish divergence on the CCI. Let me just expand that. For this divergence to fail, we need to see the CCI break to the downside and break lower than that point there, in which case it will invalidate the divergence. In all likelihood, the price will also collapse, making lower lows. So for this to work, we need to see the CCI rise, and we need to see the price rise and eventually break this channel. That'll be your entry point, and I choose the closest Fibonacci range as a target area. You can of course choose a high area, but that's just the higher you go in terms of targets, the lower the probability of success. So this setup, once it breaks up through there, there's a very high chance it'll hit that target area from my experience. So to understand how to trade this, and before I go, I do also have a bearish backtest and a bullish backtest. You'll notice they average down. We don't use stop losses, and the way to avoid those average downs is, again, always trade when the weekly and the daily are aligned. So currently the weekly is bullish, the daily is bearish, so don't take any trades in one of those trading strategies. The divergence are a separate strategy altogether. You can trade those in isolation without the trend. So to understand how to trade this and other trading strategies, subscribe to my Patreon page, where we also have got some weekly scans of stocks, currencies and commodities. Subscribe, like and share the channel. Thanks for watching, and see you in a future video.